tell you, we're fans of EUR Web.
Amazing. I will share that with Lee, our editor.
Yes, please, please, please. He was one of the first, journalists to give Trey and I, when we first started Tridestin, a feature and to talk to us. And we're just forever grateful to him and forever grateful to you guys. So I just want to first tell you that. Thank you.
Amazing. I will certainly share that. So starting off, we love seeing beautiful Black people, rich, powerful, with intrigue and drama. But I have to ask you all, how do you continue to come up with fresh storylines, new concepts, and great characters to include in these series?
Carl Weber.
The crazy thing is I've been doing this for now 22 years. So, I've been writing novels since I was just reminded 2000. So I've always kept that type of thing fresh. I've always had new ideas. Even when I talk to my partners, I'll be like, give me a while. Let me take a drive and I'll come up with something. Some of it comes from me being a comic book fan. I honestly believe that, because when I used to read comic books, you get to the end of the comic book and they always give you a hook that you got to buy the next one next month. So that was always my thought process in writing, is every chapter has to make you want to read the next chapter, or every scene makes you want to read the next scene and find out what's happening and the twists and turns. And, as crazy as it sounds, X-Men have 500 editions over 20 years. And and the stories keep coming out and they keep making new movies and on Spider-Man and Batman and different things. So you have to get to the point where you can become imaginative in the same box. I always joke and tell people, I can write a sandwich. I can write a book or a story about a ham sandwich, because if you're creative and that's what you really, really want to do, then you're going to figure out a way to make it interesting to people, because that's your craft.
Amazing. Thank you for that answer. So Trey, we get to see so many great visuals when we're watching these shows. What is your approach when you are laying out your concepts for how you want to bring these stories to life?
Yeah, I'm a pretty organic filmmaker and collaborative, but something like family business where you're constructing a world around this, like a family like the Duncans, and then looking at all the people surrounding them, you just based on our locations and things like that, it kind of helps me creatively understand where we're going with these things, and working with the actors that we're working with. Once we cast them, believe it or not, they help me create the vibe that I really want to create around them. So the energy around them. So that's with that one. The Black Hamptons, on the other hand, similarly looking at the homes we were shooting in, the locations, the water, it's really about building the environment of the show and, what's on the page, and what Nikaya and Carl is like, the showrunners, TV obviously is like a writer's medium, right? It's a creator's medium in that sense of you have to create some consistency throughout the whole thing. Whereas like when you're doing a movie, you can take it in so many directions, whatever. But it's really just tapping into the environment. Like, what is the vibe we want to create? Black Hamptons, one of the things I always said, let's take them on a vacation. Let's say if there's somebody in the middle of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, never been here. If they turn the television and they look, what is that? I want to go there. That's first off, the first thing, everything I think of when we're going to shoot visual, it needs to be beautiful and bright, and then going into coloring and all that, and making sure this thing looks like this painting right here, just colorful and vibrant. So those are the vibes that I kind of tap into each show.
For that. So this question is for all of you, but I'm going to start with Nikaya. You guys have the benefit of not only being on digital, but in some cases also being on linear and networks. So for you as creatives, what has been the difference for you that you've noticed when you were doing a show that is strictly for the digital streaming side, or one that will be also at some point possibly airing on the TV side? Or is there even a difference?
I definitely will say that we've been very blessed because BET and BET Plus definitely has some synergy. the biggest focus for us is to have the best cast and the best crew in the whole wide world, so that we make a show that can transcend the digital audience, which I feel sometimes is a little younger, and the linear audience, which I feel is at home all the time, and just can't wait to see, what's going on next. And both of our shows, like Trey said, I think with Black Hamptons, we definitely went for the vacation and beautiful and colorful. And with Family Business, we went for the, Black family mafia, and to be able to go behind the scenes of that. But what they both share is that, all these families have loyalty, they have dedication to one another. They're fighting for something, whether it's fighting for love, fighting for ownership, fighting for survival. And we just make sure that in telling each story, no matter what the audience, young or old, these are multi-generational shows, generational wealth, generational support, that the audience goes away feeling like that's me, or that's who I want to be, or, just having, entertainment. I keep telling the story of what I remember being a kid and going in, and my mother said, "What happened on Dynasty Girl? What happened on Dallas? Or what happened on The Cosby Show or Different World?" And wanting to give this generation that, where they come home and everybody's, sitting around the TV trying to figure out what's going to happen to these characters. And also Carl blesses us to make sure that our women characters are just as strong as our male characters, and that they all are very diverse, and we get to play every day with this cast and this crew. So it's been all joy.
Amazing. So gentlemen, is there any difference for you between creating something for linear and something versus streaming, or is it just all the same?
Well, I think Nikaya was correct. There's definitely synergy between the two, BET Plus and BET. But, as a writer, sometimes you have to be a little cognizant of, do I want to get too real, because I don't want them to bleep something out. As crazy as that sounds, they've done a really, really, really good job of figuring that aspect out. But more so is when you have a situation where it's a binge watch situation, like it's been in the past. Now, we're going to have to be cognizant of the fact that they are releasing on BET Plus, are releasing episodes weekly. So now, in the future, we may have to be cognizant of that and make sure that they're, to use a music term, a hook at the end of every episode, or a better hook, because it's not fluid. So, and I might be getting too technical, and that might not be the answer you wanted.
Well, that is an amazing answer, because I know what you mean. If you can watch something straight through, you might have a different feeling because you're already in it. But if you have to wait a week, you want something that is going to leave them with anticipation.
That's
Think
right.
about it all week long.
What they said.
What they said. Got it. Perfect. So you mentioned casting, and you guys do such a great job with casting, especially in this. Do you go in with the mindset of, I already kind of know who I envision in these roles or for these new roles? Or is it really just open mind and seeing who best brings the character to life as you are working through that process pre-production?
We have a great team effort. I'm the new guy in the group. I've only been with these guys 10 years. 2 of them have been together for 20 years. But when we sit down and start to talk about this, let me tell you something. It's almost like you would love to be sitting in the room with us, because it's such interesting conversation, and we all end up at the same place in the end. But Trey may come up with this idea, or ND may come up, or I may come up with this idea. Say, what about this person? And we start talking about this stuff, and and then they pull things out of me about the characters that sometimes I don't even know. So it's one of the funnest parts of the job. I'm going to be honest with you. It really is.
Yeah. And the beauty of having BET and BET Plus as our network is that they empower us to be able to choose the actors that we really feel are the characters. And one of the important factors for us is to not only be able to use our iconic actors like Ernie and Valerie and Vanessa and Lamont and Elise, but to also, and Javicia and Darren, and the list goes on and on and on, and Tammy. But to also be able to find fresh faces and to give people opportunity that may have been in reality or may have been in, other realms of our industry, and to allow them to show their greatness in this light. It has really been a joy to see and to witness and to be a part of. And we, not only in the casting, but also in our crew, we consider ourselves to have the best crew in the world. We have a lot of Black female first ADs and women of color, and just a very diverse crew that understands the voice and the authenticity of the culture. So even they sometimes will come up. I remember when we were doing family business in the beginning, one of our crew members, our set designer, came up and said, "Have you heard of this person for Consuela?" And it was Yachty. And we were like, "Oh my God, she would be perfect." And we were already dealing with Millia. So sometimes, like Carl says, our cast is organic. We have the people that we love, like a Vanessa Bell Calloway or Valerie or someone that we've already known. But then sometimes it's just like Black China was perfect for Caron. I mean, it's just, sometimes the person is just perfect. And she did an audition, and we knew her agent, Alex, for years, but she was the perfect one for the job. And so it's just been a blessing and everything for the network to stand behind us and allow us to choose our own talent.
China did an amazing job, by the way. I think she's going to really surprise some people.
Yes.
So in wrapping up, I want to know from each of you, I know that all the characters are your babies, all the storylines, but who is the special or your favorite one to kind of watch in season 1 of the Black Hamptons and in the family business? Who's going to surprise the audience?
Carl, you want to go or you want me?
My thought. I don't like to talk about the children.
I'm sorry, I'm making you choose your babies a little bit.
I mean,
you got 14 minutes, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were all really, 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 really good.
Okay, I will say it. Since
Yes, please. Could you do that? Yes, please.
Tell you on both shows this season, what you are going to love and find is that the women characters, they about their business this time. On Family Business, they're about their business, and on Black Hamptons, they're about their power. And I feel like all the characters are going to shine, but there is one that is going to surprise you. And stay tuned for that one. It's actually 2 that's going to surprise you this season, but you got to stay tuned. But you are going to love the twists and turns that we did for season 4 of the Family Business. And you can't, girl, wait till you see episode 3 and 4 of the Black Hamptons. There's some things you never.
I saw it.
So you
I saw it.